Okay, CR's live. Welcome back, everybody. It's Creative Redundancy back again. The one known as CR, like it says on your screen. And I see some people in the side chat already for it. Pregnant Wife, Matthew. I see you both in there. This is C Law. And yes, there will be video too. Ooh. But you have to wait a moment. I guess I have to make some coffee first. A little bit behind here, just a tad bit behind. I got a call. Get that water out here. I was a tad bit behind. Someone called me before the stream, and then I had to listen to a voice note and reply to someone. So I didn't even make my coffee. So yes. So this stream is live with CR, where I get to reconnect with you all, the people out there, and share a few things and stories along the way, such as stuff like this, that stuff you'll see in a little bit here. And as I wait for some people to filter in, see what I did there? See what I did there? What's up, Mel Mel? I see you in there. What's up? Nice to see you, man. Virtual fist bump. Let me wait. Let me highlight some of these comments here. See, stage froze. I had the stage froze already. Picture my that's all right. All right. Well, I wait for my coffee here. So yeah, perfect live. Have you Mel? Yeah. What's up, Lee? Nice to see you again. Thanks for choosing to join me today. Oh, they just write themselves, as I highlight all those names there and channels. It's nice to see you all. Hopefully you guys and gals and everyone watching is doing well. Mel, I started to say what you started to say. Shout out to the replay gang. I started to say that a lot more often. I noticed that. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm using my headset, so hopefully everyone can hear me. He already knows. Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course, Matt. No, yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I was actually surprised. I was actually, to be honest, I guess I'll get into that too in a little bit. But hold on. Hold on one sec. I gotta make sure my phone. Oh, my phone's not. Why is my phone? Oh, why is my phone not charging? Hold on. I gotta make sure it's charging first. Come on, phone. Charge. Charge, phone. Charge. Come on, phone. Charge, brain. Hold on. Come on. Seriously? Okay, I think my phone's charging. Okay. Gotta make sure my phone's charging here. Alright. Just my angle here. Alright. Yeah. I was really surprised to see you in there because I was actually supposed to jump into their stream, and I'm like, oh wait, Memo's on. So I'm like, since I haven't seen you in a while, in terms of like talking to you outside of static videos or shorts, I was like, oh yeah, I'll drop in. It was nice to see Valerie in there and stuff like that. Yeah, yesterday was like stream hopping. I'm like, oh, of course, everyone's on live at the same time, so I had to kind of allocate some time to you all. Just like this guy right here. Like, let me point right here. That guy Mel. Oh, look at this. Southern Living. Hi, Gail. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well, Gail. Nice to see you again. While I wait for my coffee here. So yeah, what is up with me? Well, let's just say I'm springing into action, like literally. I know Gail here does some gardening. I'm a little behind on some of the videos here. I know you've been doing that container gardening stuff over there, Gail. It's one of the things I'm trying to get better at, and like literally, literally. It hasn't grown so much since the last live stream that I showed it, but it's starting to get somewhere. You can see it's starting a second leaf or leaf there, so eventually I'll have to transplant it or uppot it, as they say. Oh, water's almost boiling. Oh yeah, water's definitely almost boiling. Yeah, enjoy that nice coffee here. Yeah, nice coffee here. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Now you're setting a new bed. Oh yeah, bed, garden bed. That's what you meant. Yeah, I was just like, bed. I'm like, what? Yay! Yeah, exactly. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Let me just make sure my stage prop starting for you. Every so often, I will actually bring like this stage prop out, for example, for framing references. So anything outside or above it or to the left, I know it's out of frame. As I try to remember to stay in frame. Maybe just pour some of this coffee in here. I guess I'll just use all of it here. Give me one moment. Just let me filter my coffee here. Wait. Too bad there's no smell vision yet, hey? Even like fresh brewed coffee or nice hot coffee, and even smelling it wakes you up. You're like, ah. Perfect life. That sounds awfully familiar with some what other people say at times. Just saying. Yeah. Oops. What's up, Inside Freedom? I guess I saw the insight in doing the stream right now. Words intended. Yeah, garden bed. You didn't have your coffee today, Gail? Oh. Well, let's just say I'll have one for you. Cheers. Eventually, once I actually put it in my mug here. Maybe, hold on one sec. I'm just gonna make sure my phone's charging here. Come on. Yeah, it is. Okay. Just have to make sure. And I'm trying not to swipe, and go back and exit at the stream. Although I could come back in, I know that, but I'm trying not to randomly. Why did it see her in the stream already? Because I accidentally pushed the button. I'm trying not to hit those things there, right? Excellent. All right. Yes. So let me just pour my coffee here. Just give me one moment here, ladies and gentlemen. I guess it. Oh, whatever. See? You can hear it. Although I kind of spilled a little out. Just a tad. Let me get a rag here. I'm trying not to use paper towel so much. Just use a rag. Stuff like that. See, the paper towel is for something I really need it for. Not for coffee. Or spilled coffee. Okay. I wait for that to kind of filter through here. So, yes, this is a plant that I started couple weeks back. Let's see. Today's the 27th of April at the time of the stream. Shout out to the replay gang. So it's coming along. I think it's about. I don't think it's been 2 weeks yet for this. I mean, like I said, I could see that. Like you can see it right there. That little bit more of it. So, I mean, obviously it's got its baby leaves and stuff like that. Oh, this is a tomato, by the way. I guess I should have tossed that information out. Everyone's like, "What's this though? See, are you talking about this plant?" But we don't know what it is. Yeah, it's a tomato, Gale. Sorry. I have my camera at the bottom, so if I'm going like this, it's because I'm trying to hit the plant, and I'm not trying to shake my camera too much. Yeah, it's a tomato plant. Just put it back here. I also have a few others that I've started already. I think I will be starting some more soon. Because for anyone that hasn't paid attention to the weather out there, I mean, some places it could be nicer or better, but generally speaking, for me here, it's been very nice. I mean, snow? What snow? I haven't seen snow since the beginning of the month. It's been like, I think we're coming up to like 3 weeks without seeing it. You know, I keep hearing about every airplane's getting snow. It's over here for once. For once. Cross my fingers and hopefully I didn't jinx it. Please don't tell me I jinxed it. But if you look at the jet stream map right now, it's rising. Right now, it's actually rising a lot more. So there's a lot more. It'll probably be more like a southern or a westerly flow out west there. So it's like rising above the territories right now, and kind of dipping out east to a tad. And relatively speaking, it's relatively nice out west right now. I mean, I think the seasonal temperature during this time of year for like a day like this, April or something like that, is around, on average, about, let's say, just to round it up a bit, 60 Fahrenheit, 16 Celsius. So, and it's supposed to be like 14 today, 54 Fahrenheit for you guys and gals in the US. And it's supposed to rise beyond that too now. It's expected, and the trend looks like that for the next like 10 days. Where today, which is Thursday, it's almost Friday. It's gonna look a lot nicer. I might see, well, I know I'm gonna see 70 Fahrenheit, over 21 Celsius. Hell, I might even see 80 Fahrenheit here. So that's over 26, almost 27 Celsius. So it's gonna definitely seem more and more like summer. A really awesome spring. So I'm hoping when, let's say, a cold front comes back in, or when the temperature drops again, hopefully it'll rain and hopefully it won't be too cold, and stuff like that. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about the snows down south in Idaho, Iowa, and stuff like that. Yeah, I know there's storms down south more, like thunder showers and stuff like that. I think there was like hail and stuff like that. I've seen some of the images and videos that people were posting about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I'm dodging that right now. And hopefully it'll actually rain too. Because actually it rained here a bit yesterday, a tad. It was supposed to rain here last night. It never did because I went to go check the water collection I have outside. I'm like, nope, it did not go up, and the ground was dry. Like the grass, the cement, stuff like that was dry. I mean, I got some water catchment from the first time it rained here in April, like this year, but relatively speaking, that was the most we got. Because there are 2 times, including yesterday, were kind of very short-lived. Where where the ground is like wet, maybe a little bit of a puddling, but it didn't last overly long, and it didn't. Well, obviously, it didn't pour. I mean, it did replenish. I might have gone maybe 5 gallons that in total, but some water is better than no water, right? At 62 down there and cloudy in Texas, that's probably around 17 Celsius for my world Canadian viewers here. Just putting in some milk into my coffee here. I actually had coffee the other day, black. I don't usually have it like that, but sometimes I can. And I can actually have it black, but this time around I decided to put a little splash of milk in here. Let me just stir it here. Let me have a sip here before I close my lid. Cheers, everyone. Cheers to having a good day. And cheers to reconnecting with all of you. And cheers to someone very special in there. I see you, man. I see you. What is up, Shadow Scout? You want to join me? Shadow? I can message you a link if you like. Just reply back in the chat right now if you want to join me. Well, maybe I'll just send it to you anyways. I'll just send it to you. You can't. You like your flavor creamer? I don't mind them like vanilla, the hazelnut, but I don't always have them. Hold on a sec. Yeah. Invite. Sorry, just give me a second because I gotta. Okay. Okay. For some reason, my mic muted itself. Sorry about that. I didn't notice it. Seriously, he's already in. It's like he's waiting for me.
Waiting. I'm still here.
I know. It's like you
I
were
got
wait.
here.
It's like you were. I know you were like waiting for me. I should have sent you the link earlier, but like I said, someone called me and I didn't have time. I wasn't even in the StreamYard site yet, let alone set up my tripod and all that stuff. How are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Nice
Tired.
of
I
you to
just
join me.
long day at work. I was back
Yeah.
home. I believe it was 5:45 or so, and
Mm,
I had to have some dinner on top of that. And then I
I see.
realized, dang, I need to go to the grocery store. So I
I
had to
see.
do that too.
I see. Oh, by the way, I'm putting my coffee grounds into something.
So
I'm trying to.
now I'm
So,
here.
oh, so. I'll just put my random teapot right here. That's kind of short and stout.
That's a nice
Here,
teapot.
here, here's the handle, and there's the spout. I mean, I'm not trying to do a sing along here, but here we are. Yeah, dump this in here. Put this dry out. For me. It's easier to do it in a dry state, or at least I can keep it around longer
Yeah.
until I'm ready to use stuff like this. Well, because I've said this to you, Shadow, and I think I might have said it here on stream or on different panels because of winter here and some other things, right? A compost pile for me doesn't always work or wouldn't be always viable because you need enough like material and stuff like that. Because the bigger it is, the heat will generate. I mean, it'll still break down in time, but the bigger it is, the faster it goes.
Yeah.
So, hence, a video like I shown in spring prep work video that I put out there. So, where I was just applying something dry out there, but
Yeah.
so that's what I do. I just kind of let this dry, then kind of mix it in the mixture that I have of other things that I have. Herb, um, like food scraps and such, right? So kind of mix it in together and stuff like that. I'm actually growing. I'm actually starting a new one for the fall time already. I'm already starting the fall time one.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I do it during early in the spring and late in the fall. So after the snow's melted and before the snow returns. Because at that time I have access to the ground and there's no plants on the top at that time and there's no snow at the top. And kind of sprinkle it out there, just cover it with some soil so it doesn't, blow away, obviously, right? And just lightly mix it in there and just kind of let it sit in there for, the rest of the time. And kind of allow it to slowly add nutrients to the ground, to the soil. It's a
Hey,
slow release.
Courtney, good to see you, man.
Oh, Courtney's in here?
Yep.
Yeah. White Family Farm. So awesome, Courtney.
Indeed.
What I did there? Again? I was having so much fun last night with Jill from Garden State Garden and such, right?
Yeah.
But that's the root of my humor, as Courtney would know.
Yeah, you have a special sense of humor, my friend.
Yes. I'm not
But I
sure how
guess we
long
all have.
I'm not sure how long I'll go for, but I'll go for a little bit as long as I can.
Yeah.
I'm expecting company, so
Okay.
if I suddenly disappear, well, you guys and gals will know why. It's the
Yeah.
way it is. Sometimes I'm always trying to squeeze in some time for a stream or to join panels and stuff like that, and make my coffee and reconnect with you all and such. Yeah, I understand. I understand, Courtney. Yeah, you have real world commitments. It's all good. It's all good.
We have a
Well,
life
I
outside
mean, no,
too.
well, Courtney, no one knew Joe was going on live. Like literally, it was put. See, stream, then I went to another stream. Then after that, I left kind of early, right before it ended, and I'm like, wait, Joe's on now? What? It's not Sunday. Because we just remember Courtney. We just saw him earlier in the day. He's like, oh, and join Garden State's Gardeners for his Sunday fun day on Sunday. Then I'm like, wait a second, it's not Sunday. It's still Thursday. I was like five. It already started for like a few minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh! Then just start seeing everyone else just pour in. He was so behind the chat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no one knew. There was no notification. It was just like, I'm not. I think he said, "Oh, I'm not tired, so I'm gonna go on live." It'd be hilarious if you just joined right now. That'd be hilarious. He's like, I hear you
I
guys
agree.
talking. I'm just saying there. It's like, sorry, my camera's right here at the bottom, so I'm trying to grab my phone so I don't twist it, turn it. Just make sure organizations as well are approaching humans broken down. Yeah, decompose, decompose because the process. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar with that. That's why I give it some time. Not the plant or the herb. I meant like time, like watch time. You know. And I appreciate everyone watching right now and adding some more time to my watch time.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
always nice.
yeah. Yeah, I'm. You know what's funny? Yesterday, last night, I was just watching this. I'm not subscribed to the channel personally yet, but I've been seeing it kind of trickle into my home feed or homepage here on the on the YouTube side, right? You know, your homepage, right? The home, right? And I've been seeing some videos from this channel and stuff like that, and trying to understand the gardening thing, or that whole system as a whole, right? Because I hear
Yeah,
a lot of things out there. It's like, try this, try this. This doesn't work, but this works. Don't do that. That doesn't work. This works. I'm like, so I'm trying to rationalize it and kind of adapt it to my area here, the growing zone, the climate here, right? The weather that I get here, and stuff like that. So that's one thing I'm trying to do here.
yeah.
So how are your plants doing, my friend?
Well, I can go and get them. You can take a look by yourself.
Oh, look at that, everyone! We're gonna get some sneak peeks here. Everyone's done see something here. I mean, see something here. Yeah, I'll just randomly just bring this back into view again. Since Courtney and some other people just joined us and stuff like that. So while I wait for Shen to jump back in here, yeah. I was watching these videos. I mean, I understand even something that's powder is not fully decomposed. It just looks smaller or where it's too small to see with the human eye. Right before you show
These
this,
are my chili plants. My
let
wife
me.
got them, and she gave them to me.
There we go. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Nice, nice, very,
Yeah,
very nice.
I watered them. I gave them some water this morning. So,
Yeah, yeah, me too. What I was gonna say about that decomposition, and it kind of makes sense in
but
terms
I
of
have
like
no idea what kind of chili I will get from these two. But I have no idea.
well, hopefully it'll be good eating.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And no, that does not mean everyone just talk about food and try to make me hungry and make me crave food and start putting like on
Yeah,
the side chat.
but
See, ours hungry
I
again.
but I think I need to get them in a larger pot.
Yeah, you'll probably have. You'll probably have to output them. If not today, then probably relatively soon. Well, just and I'll get into that point too because well, I guess I'll get into it right here. I mean, mine are small in comparison, but I think when it starts to happen, and it starts to make sense because as I've done this more and more and transplanted out, they become constricted. Right? I shouldn't say constricted, but they're constricted to the walls of the container, so they can't. The roots, for example, can't grow out anymore. So it kind of
Yeah,
curls around and stuff like that. You'll see
uh,
that in when you pick when you're transplanting them out
yeah.
or potting them, right? So,
I noticed one thing actually. It's
mm-hmm.
a difference between these two. This one, this plant doesn't have any hair on it, but
Oh,
this
okay, okay.
one,
So,
you see, it's have
yeah,
some
yeah.
hair, but this one don't have any. So I believe this is two different types of chili.
Yeah, yeah. Based on that observation, I would make that inference. I would guess that too. Oh, yeah. What I was gonna say about that decomposition, and I was watching a video about it, and it starts to make sense. Okay, my chemistry's a little rusty or whatever, right? But let's say like some random banana. Oh, hey, look! I made a happy face. But anyways, like a banana, for example. Let's say the banana peel, for example, right? Even if you grind it up and all this other stuff, shred it or whatever, right? It's still whole pieces, right? It's still parts of the banana. Because for people that took in like, well, I think many of us would understand. We're all. Geez, I guess I'm really not get really sciencey here, more specific, but you know, we're all the structure of the banana of us, right? The cells, SELL, by the way, right? Of us, right? Well, all that stuff has to break down before it becomes available for the soil to feed the plants after, right? So that takes time. So that's what Inside Freedom wrote earlier here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That root binding, yeah. But what he said that, about it tying, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like I said, I've um, seen things and from other people and what they've been showing and explaining it and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, that makes sense because you gotta it's gotta break something down to something smaller. Like the roots, when you see like plant roots, right? They look like hairs, right? If you think about it, right? When you see them, right? They're very, very tiny, especially the smaller they are, right? If I pulled this out, you'd see these little tiny hairs, right? Well, those hairs can only grab something smaller. They can't grab something so big. So that, let's say, the microbes and all that stuff have to break it down to a certain point where it can be available in the soil, for example, and in turn feed the plants after.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense, right? And I'm trying to understand it more. I should have paid attention more in science class at times. I really should have paid more attention to some of my science teachers. I really should have paid attention to Mr. Doyle. I should have paid attention a little bit more in
Yeah,
his
I
class.
know that feeling.
Yeah, I kind of wish they, when I was learning that stuff back then, it was applied in terms of gardening. Because I think if you apply biology in terms of like actually like living things or things that you're growing and stuff like that, let's say like plants, for example, it'd be a little bit easier to swallow because you can kind of relate to it. Like an analogy or a metaphor, but
Yeah.
something in the real world, right? Where because when you go learn something, it's like textbooks, reading, maybe some video every so often, maybe like a science lab or something like that. But that's that hands-on approach and stuff like that you might learn a little bit more. Yeah. So.
I think I'm gonna put these two babies back in
All right. Yeah, you better
onto the
put them back.
shelf in the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my plants live there.
Oh, I
I'll
believe
be
it.
I'll be back in 30 seconds or 1 minute.
You'll be back in a jiffy. So yeah, I'm just kind of missing a couple of things here. Just kind of keep the surface a little bit moist, stuff like that. I mean, I got holes at the bottom for drainage and stuff like that. But I also realize if they're sitting in the sun, the surface of the soil is not evaporating. I mean, the water on the surface of the soil is not evaporating. So as long as I keep it kind of moist at the top, it should be good still. We'll see if I'll show this air plant here. I know I've shown some people this air plant that I've transplanted as a sneak peek over on the Instagram side. So some other people may get that sneak peek soon. Like Courtney here, Lifetime My Farm. Uh, she's like, "Ooh, I hear me." So yeah, let me see. It's right. Yeah, taking up water, macro and micronutrients, and and gases, anchoring too. Oh yeah. Yeah, that whole process of it. Because if I remember right, it's like let's say the critters, let's say bugs, insects, worms, and all that stuff. They're part of that process, right? They break it down so it's almost invisible to the naked eye, and then the microbes take over to break it down into more individual like substances, for example, right? So in a
Yeah,
form that the plants can uptake because it kind of gets left over in the soil and then the roots can take it up. I mean, I know in the homesteading gardening community they'd call it plant available. You know, they would use terms like that, and I'm familiar with that. So, like I said, I haven't, I shouldn't say following these channels, but I have been watching their content and stuff like that, and trying to understanding it a little bit more, and applying the knowledge and applying it to where I am, right? For
yeah.
example. So, but yeah. So what else is up with you, Shadow?
Actually, I feel pretty worn out, but
Well, I'm going. I'm
I,
going. I
I,
appreciate you joining me once again
yeah,
as a
you're
panel
most
member.
welcome.
I know this is probably like the second or third time. I think second time. Yeah,
Yeah, second.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, actually, hold on. I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys. I'm not even joking. Let me see. I'll show you guys something here. I know. Okay. Well, well, that's close. I just knocked out my coffee. I am not going bananas here. Just
Yeah.
say. Let's just say. Yeah, I think that says it all. Should I show you guys better, or should I solo that? Solo.
So you
Yeah,
store
actually,
it in a bottle?
for now. I mean, I could, it could be a glass bottle or whatever. If you, for anyone that wants to attempt it too. But this is just a way so I can, when I'm ready, it's gonna be
Yeah,
ready to go.
good point.
I mean, I know, like I said earlier, that still has to break down. I just kind of increased the surface area, so bugs, microbes, frankly, it just so it actually breaks down faster. I'm just kind of speeding up the process, maybe saving like a few months, for example, of time. Well, because I imagine if it was a whole banana peel, and remember, I live here in Canada, so decomposition or breaking down of something is slower when it's colder out. Because for anyone that remembers that kind of danger zone in terms of for food safety, right?
Yeah,
Where between 4 to 60 Celsius, 40 to 160 Fahrenheit, I think, or 40 Fahrenheit or 50 or whatever, right? Uh,
yeah,
Bacteria and microbes can grow much faster because it's warm, especially if there's moisture, right? But if it's
yeah,
colder than that, it slows it down, and once it becomes below freezing, it almost stops. And anything above that start to destroy or kill the microbes because basically cooking, like cooking meat or something like that. That it changes. When you're browning something or something like that. Dang, why did I bring that up? Now I want to eat something. Dang it. But yeah, that's one thing I do. Let me just move this banana out of the way. What you saying there? So pH is important to different plants need different pH ranges. Yeah, being out of range will impact the plant's ability to uptake nutrients. Most common garden and vegetable plants have thrive in neutral pH. So yeah, so 7 on that pH scale would be 7. And something
Yeah,
like rainwater is slightly acidic because of the carbon dioxide, the nitrogen in the air. So at a 6, I think no 6.5, for example. Wow, I feel like I'm back in like science class now.
yeah,
But yeah, I've been trying to really understand it again, and then trying to apply what I learned in the past to what I'm learning now, and trying to make sense of it all. Where it seems to make sense somehow. Somehow it's just like, oh, okay, oh yeah, like my science teacher said. I think I remember that one part, right? I mean, something like this. This is actually like quite a bit right here. Yeah, I have one of those. Sometimes I put one of those humidity absorbers in there, just kind of keep the moisture level down. Because actually, I don't. Well, it's not a deal breaker. If the mold grows on it, but while it's in the container, I don't want that. Right,
yeah,
and stuff like that. Because sometimes I've had issues with it every so often, where I'm like, well, I guess I'll just put it out there now, because it's starting to grow that way. It's not a deal breaker, but I just don't want to spread that around or inhale it and stuff like that. Hold on a second. Let me put this back. I gotta
yeah,
remember to put my stage props back. Hold on, folks. Let me see here. Yeah. So, this is one of the things I've started to do. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Inside Freedom. It's nice to see all of you here. I put up a
yeah.
notification for the stream last night because I had a little bit of time here. I'm pretty sure I have at least half an hour still. Wow. It's almost been an hour already. Time flies. That first hour of live streaming always goes fast now.
Yeah,
After you've been doing it for a while, it's just like, most people that have done live streams kind of remember that first time, right?
yeah.
It's like, I'm so
1 hour
nervous.
flies, the time flying when you have
You're
fun.
more comfortable with it now, right? It's just like, and and hopefully you have something to talk about for a little bit. Whatever it is you do on your own channel, or I mean, also having a panel member like yourself or other people join is nice too.
Yeah.
So I can take a break and let you talk for once, since I talk on your stream all the time. I'm just kidding, everyone, just kidding.
Uh,
But yeah,
See, I was thinking because you and I, we live so far north that we have cold temperatures part of
not
the
now,
year, especially
not
at the spring
now.
too. I was thinking, why don't you get yourself a hot compost bin? You can use that
I
all
would love
year
to.
round.
Oh, you mean like the tumblers? I've seen the tumblers. One of my friends, who's an older individual in his 70s, late 70s, has had a tumbler that I saw and stuff like that. I've seen other people nearby that have like that open. I don't want to call it a bed, but it looks like a gardening bed, but it's also composting material to allow the material to break down in time. So,
Yeah.
but you also need the space for it because it takes up a footprint on the ground. Even the
Uh,
tumblers, they're and stuff with it.
can I share something for you? Well, all of you guys, if that is okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, share screen.
Hold on. I didn't realize my battery's not charging. I'm I'm out of the menu right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure my battery's charging, or else it'll just go down and it'll be like, "What happened to CR? The phone died." What?
Well, well, you have
Hold on.
compost bins like this, smaller
Uh,
smaller
should,
versions.
should I see it in there? Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
It's
The
you
screw.
can rotate it. You can rotate it. Um,
Yeah. These are the tumblers where it tumbles and you just like there's a handle and it just spins like a wheel and axle and allows you to like spin it without actually having to like use a pitchfork to manually uh, uh,
exactly.
turn it, right? Because the inside breaks down faster than the outside because and the heat that it generates and stuff like
So
that.
you have smaller versions. You can get them in a smaller space. So that's
I mean,
at
I
least
know
something.
other people are doing what they can, like like Kaylin, for example, right?
Yeah,
You know, shout out to Kaylin. You watching this, Kaylin? I just gave you a shout out right there, Kaylin String. I know
yeah,
she just put out some seed videos yesterday, so
yeah,
feel free to check that out too. Of course, Shadow here has been putting out some seed videos too, or shorts or whatever. Was it the
well, that
shorts
was
or?
the shorts. That was the
But yeah,
shorts.
yeah, and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah. I mean, stuff like that. I mean, like yeah, if it's available for someone to use, obviously
Yeah,
you. I mean, you could build one or buy a pre-made one or whatever, right?
yeah, but
I've been
it is a problem
I've
when
been
you live in an apartment.
yeah, right. I mean,
This
Kaylin lives in an
this
apartment too,
this
so
this one is more suitable for if you have a balcony or something. And this version is also pretty good if you have a balcony
hmm, I see. I see.
because this will fit. I have the space for this size, but this size would be too big.
Remember what I said in my and it's in my description. Randomly showing things or sharing things, and a few things like that. Hopefully that will grow later too. I'm gonna have to start uppotting some of this stuff soon. It's just so getting more and more green and bigger, but especially this week since the temperature is supposed to rise,
Yeah,
rise like literally. Like I might see like it's possible that I might even see 29 here.
yeah.
That's 84 Fahrenheit. So for you guys and girls that have been saying, "Oh, it's 80 here, CR," I might actually start seeing that the way that jet stream's going right now. Like I said, there's that. It's like rising over the province and up to the territories right now. So there's like warm Pacific air, sudden air from like you know south of the border
Yeah.
coming up soon. So looking forward to that. I'm taking okay. I know about the last frost day. Okay, for me here, it's about well, it's obviously May, and then take a chance on a few plants just because I have extra seeds. Now I don't recommend that. Generally saying right because you take a chance, right? But I'm taking a chance on it. But I have extra seeds, so I'm gonna take the chance of frost to get more time in, like growth time in for it, right? So it matures faster, reproduces
Insect freedom.
further.
Yeah, it has been a while, my friend.
I was like wondering like when everyone was gonna say hi to you.
Yeah,
he
it's
just he
okay.
just he this guy's just on my panel right now.
Yeah, but it's okay.
This
It's a
guy
long
right
time. It
here.
has been a while. I agree with that. With you about
We
that
just
one.
solo him, he'll take over the stream. Okay, everyone. take a nap. Shannon's streets. It's just gonna take over. Give me a break for a little bit. I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom for a bit. I won't take like 30 seconds. I'll be back in 30 minutes. It's like, where's CR? I don't want to leave him hanging. Should I just
Well,
stay here?
CR
Just keep the stream
disappeared.
going. Just keep the
CR
stream going.
disappeared in the
Right?
bathroom. He get lost
Just,
in the bathroom. He need a
oh,
GPS to get out of there.
whatever there.
Oh boy.
Here, yeah, so, yeah. I actually uploaded something else here. I'll show you guys. Maybe I'll show you guys. I don't know. I'll personally show some of you, but that's a sneak peek. But it's just something I'm trying to, well, because growing things inside for a little bit, right? So,
Yeah.
for most people, do that, right? Because not everyone lives in zone 9 by the equator where it doesn't get winter or get frost or snow. For the rest of us, right?
Yeah, for the rest of us.
Hold. Give me 1 second, boy. Keep the stream going. I have to take care of something. I'll
Yeah,
be
we
right
keep
back.
the stream going.
And I have to take off my headset. Keep
Yeah,
going.
take off your headset. It sounds like a good idea. Hey, Vanessa Kitty, good to see you. And well, it's not my stream, it's yours. So, it's good to see you guys. Hey, hope everything is just fine with you. Yeah, Vanessa, we keep it going. As good as possible. And it has been a long day at work for me. Quite busy day. I was back home. Oh, what time is it now? Oh, almost 4:45 p.m. I was back home, and then
Hi, Vanessa.
you're back.
Well, obviously, I'm already starting to highlight your commentator, right? Like I said, I'm starting to. Oh, I get to turn on the camera. I'm starting to highlight the comments.
Yeah.
Oh no, I turned the highlighter. Nice to see you, Vanessa. Catch up here. She's not wanting to join it yet. See, she was encouraging you. I see that.
Yep.
Keep it going. Oh yeah, she must have joined right after I went on the keyboard. AFK.
Okay, Vanessa. It was raining, but I was able to slip in a quick fire pit burn. Okay.
I see.
That works too.
Oh, by the way, I'm still expecting company. That was unexpected. That's something else. Someone else was dropping off something else to me.
Well,
So I had to help them bring it out of their vehicle because it was heavy.
Yeah. It's nice when you're expecting company, but it's not that nice when it's
Well,
people
as long as I can
pops
see
in.
her. As long as I can see it.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
So I
Forward.
prefer expected company.
Rotate my plants here a little bit. Trying to evenly give them some sun here in my window here. I mean, it's not clear out, but it's sunny enough to do solar ignition. So it's bright enough to do that, but it's not
Yeah,
clear out. There is some intermediate cloud. It's supposed to clear out, like I said, because the temperature is supposed to rise tomorrow and this weekend and next week, and forecast looks like sunny skies.
yeah,
Mostly sunny, clear skies, right? So I get a
yeah,
lot of that solar energy here. For solar lights and for the plants I have, that already have like the leaves on them, for example, right? That have to do that photosynthesis stuff.
yeah.
Because once it's like that, I guess Vanessa Kitty didn't see it. All right, I'll show it again here. Like sold here, so way out here. But yeah, I mean, and green right there it's doing the photosynthesis thing now a lot more. Hence, it's
Yeah,
not start growing, and get bigger, and I'm almost starting to see the next set of leaves here and stuff like that. Eventually, soon, let's see, today's Thursday. I may have to start transplanting that by next week. I'll have to see, depending how fast it starts growing on me. Let's see, exit solar whale. Yeah. Hmm. 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 You know, like I've been saying, I'm starting to get into this container gardening a little bit more, even though, I have a garden bed here, right? But it's because to just expand my horizons on it, all right? Well, because it's like you, Shadow, or Kaylin Strain, right? And some other people that do in smaller spaces like, let's say, a
yeah,
condo, apartment, or, a place without a balcony or something like that. Small spaces like that, right? So I was just
yeah,
thinking, hmm, how about a fish tank? How about a fish tank? Just imagine seeing that. Eh? I mean, if you could get a fish tank, let's say even for free, for example, and you're growing stuff in it, like as a container gardening type of thing, that could work.
yeah,
Maybe for like 2 or 3 plants at most. Because obviously,
yeah,
as the plant expands and stuff like that, the roots get bigger and it starts to spread out, right? And you want to give the plants plenty of space or enough space, right? Because I was watching this one video about like container gardening and stuff like that. I forget how it's coined by title, but it's something like along the lines of like people don't tell you about container gardening or something along the lines of that. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Because
yeah,
if you squish all the plants together, they don't have enough room to expand, and they might, be stunted or may not actually produce fruit, for example, like tomatoes, cucumbers, along the lines of that.
yeah,
Because it won't get any bigger. Because it's that whole surface area. I mean, surface area and volume. It'll fill up the whole space, and then there's no room for it to expand. And breathing room, right? Like
yeah,
you know, stuff like that. So I'm trying to remember that too. Well, it's just like the plants you were showing earlier, right? I mean, like it's almost to that state for you too. For those, it looks like I would start considering that right away, getting some larger containers, pots, whatever you want to use, and kind of pot it to something a little bit bigger. Because I think what starts to happen is once it's in a bigger container, it feels like it's like the breathing room, right? It feels like, oh, now I can stretch. How like if you were in a car for a long period of time and
yeah,
sitting, or
yeah. I know
and you're
that
just like,
feeling.
for anyone that drives Ubers, whatever, road trips or whatever, you're gonna get out eventually because it feels
Yeah,
constricted, right?
yeah, I know that feeling
So
definitely.
it's almost that same way with the plant, where as soon as you uppot it to something bigger or put it outside in the ground where it has more, almost indefinite amount of room, It
Yeah.
feels like it stretches, and then after it kind of that leggy feeling goes away, it starts to strain back up the stem and all this stuff. It starts to grow. You start to notice that because now it's got room to expand out. Because
Yeah.
one of the containers I have on the side, I started to notice that. Like case Thursday, I transplanted it to a bigger container on like Monday, I think. Sunday, Monday. I think it was Monday. I'm starting to notice things already. How much bigger it's getting, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I mean, I had to baby it, so kind of because it was kind of tilting over a little, so I had to like prop it up for a little bit, so kind of give it a kind of baby it. So it would actually go like straight up, right? And now I don't even need to use the support stick anymore.
Yeah.
I can move this out of the way because now it's kind of holding in that position now, right? To give it
Yeah.
some time to adapt to the new soil, the new being transplanted, right, and stuff like that. And and try not to destroy or uh, uh, break any of the roots. Obviously, I mean, try, right? I mean, stuff happens. We all know
Yeah.
that. But it looks like it's not gonna take the new pot, this new container that I have. It looks healthier, and
Yeah.
probably like and stuff like that. So then eventually, I'll probably transplant this back outside again. And I only again. That's for sure. Hmm. Someone's messaging me all these comments. I wonder where they are. Hmm. They must be busy, or else they would show up. Let's see what you know. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, make sure I don't. Oh, okay, Vanessa, kidding. Yeah, I see all the comments in there. 5 tanks, one web, yeah. One cage for guinea pig. Okay, XO. Yeah, okay. And apparently, someone's sharing some other things about their lettuce and kale. I actually have a plant outside that overwintered.
Yeah.
I I still don't know what it is. I asked some people here. I mean, I asked Courtney, and she thought it was kale, but I don't think it's kale. I don't actually have kale seeds here, and I pretty sure I didn't plant one randomly, right? But it just overwintered, and it looks still green. And like I said to you, like off stream and or
Yeah.
private chats and stuff like that, it's not crispy, it's not dry. And like a living leaf, right? Like on a tree or whatever, you could tell that consistency, right?
Yeah.
So it feels like that. I'm like, it's gotta be going still. I mean, obviously, if I see it growing or notice that, obviously it's going. But I've been giving it some water now because it's funny. I didn't do anything special like put hay over it, cover it, and all this stuff. It was just snow covered, basically, right? There was ice too, right? Because I know there was ice. So I was just surprised. So, I'm like, oh, look at that. I got a volunteer plant here, which I have
Yeah.
no idea what it is, by the way, still. So, unless it starts getting bigger, I might actually have to ask one of my gardening friends that I have around here and kind of ask them, see if they know. Because I still don't know what that is specifically
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. I
I
agree
mean,
with you about that.
before I start to consume it, it would be nice to know what it is first,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
I don't want to consume something that I don't know.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one thing I'm trying to make sure that I
Uh,
try to know as much as possible. Let me check my battery here. Who knows? Maybe I'll be able to show it. Come on, let's swipe up. Okay, phone's at seventy
yeah.
percent. Give it a little bit more time here. Because I know my battery on the phone drops fast,
Yeah,
especially if I have the brightness at halfway
yeah,
panel. I'm transmitting audio using Wi-Fi and using Bluetooth. Like
yeah,
it'll start to go down. I mean,
yeah.
not as fast as like if you're gaming on a smartphone or doing editing, but it's pretty quick.
Welcome,
So I gotta.
Moondog.
Hey, what's up, Moondog? I see you.
And he says he doesn't look
Swedish.
Swedish.
Yeah, but that guy does.
I am.
What's up? What's up, Moondog? How are you doing? Like I said to you, Moondog, I like my veggies too. Moondog. Like I said, I like my veggies too. I actually do. Stuff like broccoli and stuff like that. Onions, green onions and stuff like that. I still like that stuff. But yeah. Mm. Can't wait to see that one grow more.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like I said, I'll probably give that maybe maybe around another week before I transplant them into individual containers and stuff like that. Because I
yeah,
think it might help. Well, like I said, it'll have more space and maybe it'll kind of. I'll notice like a. I shouldn't say exponential growth, but kind of like an accelerated type of growth because now it's got space to expand out the roots. Probably new soil, obviously, and stuff like that. So
yeah,
crossing my fingers and stuff like that. Because because once you'll notice, you'll notice that the plant will accept the transplant. Initially, you don't know for sure. I mean,
yeah,
you're
exactly.
checking it during the day as you're doing it, stuff like that, because it might start to tip over, right? And then oh, I gotta stake it up or kind of support it, give it kind of a help in there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, I had to do it with this airplane. I'm like, yeah, now I don't even need that support stick, or like like a little mini trellis, like a popsicle stick mini trellis, where
Yeah,
it's on the side and you're just kind of supporting the one side.
yeah,
All right.
that works pretty good.
Yeah, for initially for small plants.
Yeah, for small plants.
Small plants are things that just sprouted or they're still early in their life cycle. Barely even
Yeah,
have like barely gone through their baby leaves. You might have secondary or third sets of leaves, stuff like that. So
yeah, exactly.
because even when I've actually transplanted much bigger plants and stuff like that, sometimes I have to do that too. I'm like every so
Yeah,
often I'll have to put a stick nearby or like a tripod or a trellis, a little mini one, just kind of help it along until it gets more established and kind of just to help it along. It's just not like a crutch to heavily lean on, but like a wheels to help it roll and grow, right? Okay. Hippie-ish? I didn't think I was hip, but I guess I am. I was gonna say something else there, but I don't want to break out in song randomly and get a copyright strike or a content ID claim here.
that
Yeah,
would be.
not the way I want to start. Yeah, yeah. Somebody, yeah, like I said about this one transplant, turned, it's turned the baby leaves and some of the primary leaves are starting to look darker green. So it's
Yeah,
starting to do that photosynthesis thing a lot more and stuff like that. I'm actually surprised within 72 hours how not much taller it's got or wider, but how the leaves themselves are where they're expanding and changing color, stuff like that. Yeah, because last year with one of my sunflowers, see, you guys never saw that in the video that I was showing it, but I kind of got sloppy on one of them. One of them, the really tall one that I speak of that was like, I don't know, 12 feet, 13 feet. You know, 6 foot, 6 foot tall people, tippy toe reaching with their hand, their index finger trying to top, can't even touch the top of it. Right, that's how tall
Yeah,
it was. This other one, I kind of was slug. I shouldn't say sluggish, but lazy on it, and I kind of let it grow slanted. I should have strained it out in the beginning, because once it develops that kind of outer, I don't know what you want to call it. I guess I'll just throw in a word like skin in there, right? That
Hey
brown.
David, Lim Prepper Principal, good to see you and welcome to the stream.
What's up, David? And welcome. But yeah, once that happens, it's done. Well, I shouldn't say it's done, but it'll set in that position because it becomes rigid. Early, if I did it early on when it was still flexible, right,
Yeah,
I could have fixed that. But to a certain point, you can't fix it. It's just like because it's outer, the bottom of the stem or stalk or whatever becomes like hard, like a tree, for example, right? It becomes solid, right? And there's no play in that. All right. So this year, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, try to get it so it goes straight up. It's not just
yeah,
so it can reach the sun and all that stuff. So it's just so if there's fences, everything's in the way, then it's not in the shade so much. It's not lower than it needs to be, for
yeah,
example. And something like a sunflower, you want to see it, so it'd be nice if it's nice and tall.
yeah,
And maybe the birds, the bees can actually notice it better and stuff like that. I mean, I didn't see much bee activity on it from what I saw at times, but I did see the wasp. So I guess technically it's a pollinator. I think even in that video where I showed the sunflower, there's footage of where you could see the wasp in there, and they were trying to get nectar or whatever, right?
yeah. See, I just want to show you another bag of seeds I got.
Oh, oh,
Uh,
oh, okay.
I found it. I forgot that I had it.
Oh, that reminds me. I actually found a bag of seeds that I forgot I had too. If Courtney's
this
still
one,
listening, yeah, if Courtney's still listening, I gave her a sneak peek on that.
yeah, this
What is
one.
that? What is that?
This is flower mix. Bumblebees and bees. This bag contains seeds for different flowers that attract bumblebees and bees.
I see.
So that's nice.
Hmm.
I forgot that I had this one.
Okay. Just to let everyone know in YouTube chat, I'll probably go for another 15 minutes to that 90-minute mark. But do
Yeah,
stick around after. I do want to talk to you after in the back room.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so I do appreciate everyone dropping in. I mean, I was thinking I was going to talk about gardening, but well, here we are.
Yeah,
It must be that one person that came by. Who was it? Or a bunch of people. You know,
yeah,
who was it? Oh yeah, Inside Freedom and Courtney from Live Family Farm. Because of them. No, no, I'm just kidding. Actually, I was planning on it. Well, I wasn't sure if you were gonna join me either, so and stuff like that. So I actually had to stay flexible, like a sapling,
yeah,
just in case. Just in case. Yeah, I'm working on trying to not just improve the soil that I have here, but like I said, getting kind of more experience and knowledge and just doing that container type of gardening or even starting, right?
yeah,
Because I understand like someone like Kaylin Strain, right? You guys gotta do container gardening. I know other people, other channels out there have to do something like that just because the way it is, right? Maybe you got too many trees everywhere, right? So they got big branches, big roots, right? So they're the suck the nutrients out of the soil, suck the water probably better than your little tiny plant that you're trying to start, right? It's very hard to start certain plants when there's well established stuff, right? Because they
Yeah,
have
it
deeper
is.
roots, tap roots, and all that stuff. So it's very hard, right? Hence why you usually clear an area to transplant a little, so there's no competition, right? It's the competition in terms of our plants and stuff like that. So stuff like that, I gotta remember. So this is why I'm starting to learn about it by actually doing it and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, I've started some other plants, and there's a few that I mean, you can't see in this without showing too much here in terms of the label. But yeah, there's nothing you can't see anything because I just started that like the other day.
Yeah,
You'll have to see what it is because I don't know if it's on germinate. So I'll show you guys later if it does or whatever. Maybe I'll sneak peek to you personally or something like that, or show it in video or live stream or on a panel. But, yeah, like I said, this one right here. I think you were there for that stream because you showed up with because Preparedness Veteran was in during that stream. He was asking me about this specific container, right? If it had drainage holes. And he's
yeah,
like, and then you showed up out of nowhere. It's like, speaking of Shadow, there he is, right, bro? I remember because that's what Preparedness Veterans said. They're like,
yeah.
oh, look at that. I didn't even have to message him, right? But I mean, this took a little bit of time. I'll probably have to wait at least another week for sure for that. At least
Probably.
another week, right? Because some of the germination time varies on the plants
Yes.
themselves. Some of
Some
them
seeds germinate fast, and others germinate
within a week,
later.
within let's say 5, 7, 8 days. The other ones, it's 2 weeks,
Yeah,
10, 14 days, right? So on average. So I'm like, I'll have to wait and stuff like that. So that's why I'm trying to kind of prepare for that to a certain degree in that terms of preparedness part of it and trying to get containers ready amongst other things. Growing medium like soil, for example, ready for it
yeah,
as much as possible. You know, then probably in a couple more weeks, probably like the second, at least the second or third week of May, if
yeah,
not the fourth with the last week of May, I'll have to
yeah,
bring them outside to harden them off,
yeah,
kind of, so they are more accustomed to sunshine, the wind itself too, right? Because wind actually hardens plants too, because it's because they have to adjust to it. They have to learn that to adjust because the stem has to grow against that pressure of the wind and stuff like that. Because in the real world, things grow in a forest outside, right? So it's got to deal with wind. I'm just kind of babying in until it kind of gets to a state that I can, where I just water it, maybe prune it. That's it, right? Until it's
yeah.
ready for any harvesting or pruning, right? So stuff like that. So yeah, Shadow, are you planning to try anything else?
Uh,
Feel free to stick your
not,
fork in it.
not,
Just kidding.
not, not at the moment.
Yeah, one of the things I've been considering, this whole kind of not having, like, don't get me without showing too much here. Well, we're getting away from what plastic utensils to go towards. No, show these ones, but wooden utensils, right? I was thinking instead of using popsicle sticks, I might just start using stuff like this because this is
Yeah,
actually more readily available. And if I don't have to buy popsicle sticks, I'll
yeah,
just use this stuff. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
relatively, it's the same. I mean, there's not much difference, and I'm reusing it. and it's already got a point on it, right?
Yeah,
I can only
exactly.
put this in the ground. I can put this in the ground. I can easily put a label on that or mark it or
Yeah,
put a name to that. Because I think I had this from someone else. Instead of throwing it out or whatever, I'll reuse it. Right. So,
hey Tammy,
hi
good to see
Tammy.
you.
It's so awesome to see you, Tammy. Straight up, Rebel Candace in the house with me. How are you doing?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, see, Tammy. Ooh.
Tammy's
I wasn't.
awesome.
Yeah, I wasn't joking about that. My like I said to Courtney on Courtney's stream, my tomato plants are still trying to catch up to yours out there. Get it? I said that. Tammy. I mean, Courtney was like, "Oh, CR." I still remember that. I was just like during that tomato stream she was talking about. I'm like, come on. That was the only time I could actually ever say that kind of pun because it wouldn't make
Yeah,
sense any other time.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, right. So I was like, yes, finally I get to pull that one out. Yeah, you're doing good. Yeah, of course, Tammy's already LOL. Yeah. Well, thanks for dropping by, Tammy. Like I said, I'll probably go for another like 9, 10 minutes, give or take. And like I said, Chet will stick around in the backstage of the stream, like usual.
Yeah,
Stuff like that. But yeah, it's nice to see you, Tammy. By the way, I wasn't
yeah,
planning on like talking about gardening or. But it is getting warmer, and it is sunny out here
yeah,
and stuff like that. Because lately, as I've been seeing you guys gardening more, I mean, yeah, I saw stuff in March, February, March, right? But now in April here, as a, now that it's starting to get warmer here and I can start doing things, I'm getting more excited for it for this gardening season because it's just like where I'm trying to up my A game on it a little bit more, learn more, try something I haven't tried yet, right? For example, it's an experiment too, right? Learn from learn, enjoy the process, and just kind of learn from the experience of it, whatever it is, right? If you're growing
exactly.
this, that, cucumbers, tomatoes, sunflower, um, borage, because randomly I have borage seeds that I forgot about. That Courtney, I showed Courtney the picture of it. Well, not the picture, but I almost forgot about those. Now I'm not going to start
Yeah,
that this year because I'm not as familiar with it. I mean, until I do more research, find out how to use it, what it looks like, and stuff like that. Because let's just say if you were starting tomatoes and you're new to gardening or first time or you haven't done it in a while, well, doing some research, knowing what it looks like even before you see it in real life, right? So you indicate,
yeah,
oh, it's coming out to that one point, or seeing the flowering on it. Oh, this is what the flowers look like. Then when you see it in the real world in front of you,
yeah,
plants, you know exactly what's going on, right? And stuff like that. And seeing, oh, so this is that. Oh, this is the kind of skin splitting blossom enrod thing that they talk about. Oh, okay, right? And you start to see it for yourself and start to understand it and stuff like that, right? I guess that makes sense, right? Because then you're kind of absorbing that knowledge that you're trying to gain from videos like YouTube videos or whatever, or reading about it on forums or websites, and then applying that to the experience that you have in the real world with the ones that you're trying to grow, like tomato plants, for example, right? Because that's how I've been trying to doing it, right? And applying that knowledge into the and gain the experience by actually doing it, and hopefully gain the skill, I guess, or something along the lines of that. Oh, bees like borage. Okay. Whoa! You haven't started. What? No, I understand. I understand what's going on with you right now, Tabby. But I know. You'll still have something. You'll still have something out there. I know. Right? Because I know some other people are like moving and stuff like that, and are commitments. So yeah, about 5 minutes here. Yeah, the clock says 1:25 in terms of how long I've been going for. And so I'm slowly rotating my air plant into the sun more here. Trying to give it a
Yeah.
little bit more time here. Maybe I'll spritz the soil a little bit. My little sprayer here. I just kind of like this. It's kind of small in terms of like amount of water I can put, but it fits in my pocket, so it's nice. It's good enough for like these kind of sprouts, these kind of uh, young plants, that just started.
Yeah.
Because the soil is already really moist because obviously like the ground's dry when I first start, right? So I add a bunch in, then I just kind of top it off every so often, especially if it's sunny, because I know the soil at the top is gonna dry out. The surface is gonna start to dry out, so just kind of keeping it kind of moist at the top. I mean, I'm just learning about it by actually just doing it. Right? I imagine any gardener out there, even experienced, has had issues, things that don't germinate. Oh, it didn't transplant. It didn't whatever, right? Or hail damage, wind damage, and stuff like that, right? I expect that, right? But hopefully, I also see success too to kind of encourage me to keep going with it, right? And understand this is why people grow a lot of plants, so they increase their odds of it, right? So if they lose half of it or one or two, well, hey, I lost one or two tomato plants, but hey, look, thank goodness I have plenty of spares. 98 to go. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That kind of two is one is none kind of deal. Having backups and stuff like that. That's a reason why you tend to plant more than one plant of it. I mean, especially if you bought seeds or whatever, it comes in a package or people are giving you seeds. Usually, you have more. You have more than a handful. All right. So and stuff like that. Oh yeah. By the way, everyone, I've actually started some cold, cool weather type of things out there. Even though it's supposed to get hot, but but I'm hoping that those will eventually take too. I just direct sow them into the ground. So,
Yeah.
but they're green onions, so I'm less worried about that right now. I mean, I hopefully they'll take and grow and all that stuff, but I'm going. I'm still thinking of like starting something out there because it's so warm out there. But I'm like, do I want to take the chance? I mean, I may take a few chances just because I have spare seeds, right? I can take that chance of extra time in terms of growing it for that in spite of that slight chance of frost or cooler or colder temperatures, right? So, because like I said, my last frost date is probably very similar to other people's in May. I know some other people it's later, but because usually for me it's around Mother's Day, give or take.
Yeah.
Like like here in Canada, there's this let's see if I look at the calendar. Yeah, see, in Canada, on the 22nd of May is Victoria Day. So usually that's a
Okay.
long weekend. People around here kind of, oh, we don't start until the May long weekend. That's how we say it here, right? So the 22nd of May. But that's the third week. That's usually like just kind of like a unwritten hard rule, but that's why I'm trying to start a little bit earlier. Give it a little bit of time, and hopefully I'll have I'll have an edge a little because I gave it a little bit of extra time, maybe like an extra month, you know. So I'm not starting in the middle of May with like seeds that still have to germinate, right? I've already gone through the process of the germination process, and I already have maybe plants that have like two, three, four sets of leaves. It's been growing for the last like four, maybe 4 or 5 weeks. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Tammy says can't plant before Mother's Day and it may still frost after.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, Tammy, I've seen snow in May. Trust me. So I'm trying. So I know, but I'm also realizing that it's a chance. But I'm taking that chance. But if I start early, but these are plants that have a lot of seeds of. So and especially let's say if I planted like one or two, but I have inside another 20. I could take the chance and hopefully you know take the chance on it. But if I only had one or two plants, I wouldn't attempt that because I only have one or two. You know
Hey,
what I mean?
Iron
So
Fire Horse. Good to see you and welcome.
hi, Iron Fire Horse. How are you doing? Okay, I was gonna go to the 90-minute mark. Okay, 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
okay.
That's it. Five. Only because Iron Fire Horse joined us. I was about to say. I'll the 2 minute warning, but I'll give a 5 minute warning.
Yep.
Hello, Iron Fire Horse. Uh, it's so nice to see you. Pun intended. And look, green. Ah, green. You're just having a quick break. It's nice to see you too.
Well, it
So
doesn't
awesome to see.
hurt to have a quick break sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. See, these I will soon. Those two are closer together than this one. I'll probably start on the far. Well, yeah, I'll probably start on the far side. I'll have to separate this into three. I mean, I got this other one that has two. Some of these. I think one I'm gonna do here today, since it's nicer. I think what I'm gonna do is gather some supplies, containers together, and just kind of just and soak a few seeds for a little bit of time, soften the shell,
Yeah.
and start some more seeds today. I think I'm actually more inclined to doing it now. Like I said, I've seen what everyone's been, especially the people in the U.S. have been doing it, and other people obviously too. But now I gotta restrict my excitement for it because it's not quite the end of May yet. I mean April yet, and I'm like I'm trying to hold back a little my excitement or uh I'm getting too anxious, right? About excited for it, and I don't want to start too early. But I'm like, what? I could start a couple seeds inside, right, and start some other ones and stuff like that, and hopefully, in time, transplant them outside and stuff like that. Because, like I said, I've seen what other people have been doing, and there are people out there, even here in Canada, have started seeds. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I could think I could start seeds. Even a lot of my friends, I have a go. I will share this one story here. There are some people that I'm starting to persuade a little. I mean, if they actually grow it and do all this other stuff, that's one thing. But because I showed them pictures or they've seen the sunflower that I grew last year. It was so big and tall, CR. And I'm like, oh, you want to grow some too? Spare seeds, right? Because also the sunflower made a lot of seeds, obviously, thousands, if not hundreds, thousands, right? So I'm like, I could spare some, right? You know what I mean? So there may be like four different people that I might be handing a couple of sunflower seeds to grow at their own place, in their own backyard and stuff like that. So yeah, pun intended. Maybe it'll be maybe it'll help propagate it around more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe attract more in certain like bees, for example, the pollinators, birds and stuff like that. I mean, it would be really nice to see the dragonflies come more in this area. Every so often I see them, and I like dragonflies because they consume mosquitoes. So I like those. I like having them around. It's just like the spiders and stuff like that. The ladybugs, for example, right?
Yeah.
They're quite
Exactly.
beneficial. They do help us, right? They control that kind of population now. Insects that we kind of don't like so much at times, right? The aphids, the mosquitoes, right? They kind of start affecting the plants, and mosquitoes bug us, unintended, right? So I'm hoping that because a lot of these people that I know they have open area like self-facing sun and stuff like that. I'm like, well, you got self-facing sun, right? I tell them, it's not that hard. I say, oh yeah, you got to baby it in the beginning, obviously because it's young. But there's a certain point, let's say 2, 3 feet tall, let's say even a foot, 2 feet tall. Just add water. Just give it sun, give it water until it matures. Or if you want to harvest it, right? Pretty much that's it, right? You don't have to do any real pruning like a tomato plant, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's easy to water because the leaves are so much higher above, right? You're not the water. Even if you did water the leaves, it probably wouldn't even do so much. Even though you're supposed to water from the base more, right? Try not to get the leaves wet, like on tomatoes, for example, right? So it doesn't get that kind of wet, mildew, blight, whatever, right? From too much moisture on the leaves, right?
Yeah.
Because like literally last year, I was just excess water. I was putting in like 32 ounces, 64 ounces of water, right? It's just around the base of the sunflower, and all here is that like the suction of the water just like getting absorbed into the ground. That sound? Like that slurping sound. It's like I can actually physically hear it, right? That's how strong that sound was. I'm like, oh yeah. It's just like it's almost like the roots are just like just absorbed it like a straw so fast, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, right. So as long as you have water, it's relatively sunny most of the days. It was relatively simplistic. I mean, they're supposed to be heat tolerant to a certain degree.
Yeah. To a certain degree.
Yeah, let's see. Okay. Thanks, Iron Force. Appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you told me that Iron Force last time and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, because I'm familiar with that too. Iron Horse, right? That's why I plant them out to the side slightly. I mean, because they're so tall anyways, right? I'll just put them in other places that I won't necessarily grow, like tomatoes, for example, right? Wow, really? LOL? Yeah, really. Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's got a deeper taproot, generally speaking, compared to like a tomato plant, for example, right? And
Yeah.
it once,
Exactly.
so I just put it off to the side more. I have a couple of spots I can put it right. I mean, I've told people that too, right? Hey, you could just put it right here. Because when I tell people like, yeah, I grew mine, it was like 12 feet. They're like, wow, really? Right, right. And I showed them pictures too, right? They may not have seen it in person, but I showed them pictures, right? And it's like because I had the picture still, right? I'm like, yeah, look
Yeah.
how big it is. Like the head on that tallest one I had when it was still fresh, right? Just literally just I literally just saw or cut it, the head of the flower off, right? I'm like, that weighed 10 pounds. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't dried yet, but that was quite heavy for what it was, right? Hence the sagging and stuff like that, right? So I went, yeah. And that was like, I know that was foul. Yeah, that had to be at least 1,000 seeds on that. I mean, obviously, viability and all that stuff differs, but, or it can change. But I was just like, I tell them that stuff, and they almost get excited for it, right? Shadow, where it's just like maybe that's the way to kind of persuade. I shouldn't say persuade, but kind of or convince, but words like that to people, right? That never or don't garden as much, or never done it so much, or maybe apartment and stuff like that, condo, whatever, you know, duplex, all deserve, stuff places like that, right? So. Because I know some people never grew, or maybe they've grown little things, herbs or whatever, but they never grown anything like that, right? But I think it's something about that sunflower, or these sunflowers that people like, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, Iron Forest. I see you in there. Iron Fire Horse, you guys and gals are lucky Iron Fire Horse came in here because this was like, I said 5 minutes, like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
all right, all right. Officially, no, okay, because I'm actually going to say it and show it on screen. 5 minutes. 5 minutes here. Hour, 45-minute mark. Just past the bottom of the hour. All right. 5 minutes. 5 minutes
Yeah,
before I forget. And there will be my standard 2-minute warning, like usual. Because I know sometimes people are slightly behind on the chat, or
yeah,
it's buffering, or they're slightly behind, or whatever. So it gives that time for them to say something or ask something in there. Because I don't like to abruptly just end within like 10 seconds. Because some people are catching up, right? You know what I mean? So it gives them enough
yeah,
time for that buffer zone of time.
yeah,
So if you're hearing me, then you can be like, "Oh, Sierra's not going 5 minutes. I better say all these things now and ask all these questions now beforehand, before I forget, before I can't say anything more." Right? So yeah. Let me see here. What? I thought my phone was charging. I'm like 80%. I thought it was charging. Hold on. Oh, whatever. I guess I'm ending the stream in five. Or 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes. 180 seconds to go. So why I wait to say an outro and all this other stuff like I usually do. Do you want to add anything in, Shadow? Well, we still have a minute or so. Anything you want to add in? Like I said, I know you live in apartments, so
yeah, I do.
about the gardening things and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is a little bit more trickier, but you can.
I mean, you'll have to restrict the size down to containers and what you can grow. Obviously, you're not growing a
Yeah,
sunflower inside, probably, right? But you may be able to grow green onions, for example. You know, green onions, for example.
yeah,
You know, and some kind of stuff like that, right? I mean, outside of it, having grow lights, right?
yeah.
So,
Well, that is something I probably need to get to.
how much, daylight do you, not daylight, how much actual sunlight can you get in places for you? Because I know people like Caitlin Strain, she has a north facing side window only, right? So that's
Yeah,
very, very hard. She has to grow up in shade only kind of things, right? So, like green onions, for example, right? Tomatoes are out of the question for her. I know that.
yeah,
They need 6 hours of sun, right? Even stuff that's partial shade or partial sun may not work for someone like her, just because
exactly.
you need a degree of sunlight, an actual ambient, not just ambient light, but direct sunlight. Not just ambient light that's bouncing off walls or whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, so that's why I'm always grateful to have some sunlight over here, like today, you know, because I know some people don't get that, right? It's just where you are, what's around you, right? Things to blocking the sun, like trees, buildings, whatever, right? You know what I mean? Because I know some people that live in the countryside more, where there's more trees around, right? So there's shade amongst other things, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
they'll get overhead sun, but they don't. They might get 3 or 4 hours of sunlight in certain areas. Every other time, it's shaded or the sun's behind trees and stuff like buildings, garages, houses, whatever, right? which means that photosynthesis is real. It's less, anyways, in comparison to being. Seriously, oh, seriously, hold on.
Yeah. See, I got a message here.
Yeah, it was one of those things that I've been hearing. You get a shipment from Canada Post, and blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, that's a bunch of BS. Click, hang up. I know that one. I know that one. I know that one. It's still in the. Oh, I hate that stuff. Anyways, here. All right, everyone. Let me just like I said, stay in the backstage here with me here.
Yeah.
So everyone, go try something out there. Learn something new. Expand your skills, knowledge, and experience. Because as it seems like our world is changing, so we need to adapt too, and increase your skill and knowledge with additional practice. And try to help someone out there if you can. So, anyways, thanks Shadow for joining me on this stream. Thanks to my side
Yeah.
chat, my channel moderators,
Thanks for
Iron Fire
having me.
Horse, Mel, Inside, Vanessa, Kitty, Matthew, and Prepping Life, who was in earlier, and hopefully I'm not forgetting anyone. But you guys are all awesome, and take care, everyone. And I'll catch you all next time. And Tammy, sorry, Tammy, and Tammy, Rebel Counters. You awesome too. All right, everyone. Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Next
Stay
time.
safe. God bless.
You guys are so awesome. I'm throwing that punt right at the end. And we're out.